Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about things that real estate agents should know. In fact, I put together a list of 20 things that I feel every real estate agent should know and be able to talk about if they are a licensed real estate agent. One of the things that's really important to understand is that if you really want to be an expert in the market, you've got to know your numbers. True confidence in any field comes from knowledge. And knowledge is key in real estate. I see real estate agents change and blossom when they have knowledge. So let's talk about those 20 things. The very first thing that I want to talk about is a sales analysis. It always amazes me how so many agents don't really know the total picture of what's going on in terms of sales in their particular marketplace. So what I do is I tell agents to go into the MLS, find out the total number of sales in their area or each of the areas that they work, and to do that over a period of 3 years. Now, why I love this so much is because this shows an agent a number of things. Number one, it shows you the pace at which the market is selling. It also shows you if sales are going up, if sales are going down. It also will show you at what rate the sales are going up or going down. What I get agents to do is to put this information and all the information that I'm going to share with you today into a binder along with a chart or graph that you can make from all of this information, and to be able to show your clients all of this analysis, because if you want your clients to view you as an expert, you really need to have numbers to back up what you say. This to me is the first step in really knowing your market and knowing what's sold. So I know it's a lot of work, but it comes in so handy when you're out with clients, whether that's buyers or sellers. When you can really talk about what's going on in the market, it is very, very helpful, and it also gives you a lot of respect with your clients. The next thing I want to talk about is a days on market analysis. You know, days on market really to me is one of the most valuable tools, because by looking at a days on market analysis and looking at the trends in days on market, you can see if a market is slowing down, if the market is speeding up. If you go through the solds, all the solds over a particular period of time, and you track the days on market number for each of them, and let's say you separate those by price point, what you are going to find is that there's a definite trend in those days on market numbers. This is extremely important because obviously if, let's say, the $500,000 price range is selling, you know, with an average days on market number of 90 days, and the $450,000 price range is selling, let's say, in 30 days, well, that shows you that the lower end of the market is moving at a much quicker pace. That's really invaluable information when you're dealing with your clients. So I tell agents that the days on market number provides you with a snapshot and a picture of the past and the future. It's an incredible tool when trying to analyze where the market is going. If the days on market number is, let's say in January it's 60 days, and in February it's 50 days, and in March it's 40 days, what do you think it's going to be in April? Do you think it's going to go down or up? So it's, and to me, I'd look at that and say, well, it's been going down consistently for the last 3 months. Pretty good chance it's going to continue to go down. The next thing that I think is critical is looking at your appreciation analysis. This is a more difficult number to look at because you have to compare the average sale price in your area year to year. What you do is you go into your sales data and you compare neighborhoods. You cannot generalize when it comes to price appreciation. You can go into the MLS and do a radius search. Look from one neighborhood to the other. Compare the sales from year to year and see the obvious changes that go between the sales price today and the sales price 2 years ago. What if the sales price today was $300,000 and the sales price consistently 2 years ago was $250,000? Well, obviously, you're going to be able to look at that number and know there's been an X, appreciation rate change year to year. That shows appreciation. In today's market, in some market areas, you're going to show a depreciation. But why that's so important is because whether your clients are buying or selling, clients like to know what the trends are, and appreciation analysis is really important. The other thing that you can do with an appreciation analysis is you can go home to home. So let's imagine you're helping a buyer buy. Why not look at the house that they want to buy and let them know what the appreciation rate is? And how you do that is go back when, 7 years. Maybe it was the house is 7 years old, and maybe 7 years ago the house sold at $200,000. Today they're asking $400,000. So let's now take that $200,000 difference, divide it by the 7 years, and find out how it's appreciated each year. And this is invaluable information for the buyer. The next thing I want to look at, and I ask agents to research, is a listing analysis versus a sales analysis. This is where you go into the MLS, you find the total number of listings that are taken each year, and then you compare that to the total number of sales. So let's say, for example, that I'll do an easy number. There were 100 listings taken this year, and there were 90 of those listings that sold this year. That's a 90% sales ratio. That's an incredibly fast and strong market. The whole reason you do this, and obviously the number's not going to be 100, you're looking at this to compare different listings, different areas, different time frames to see whether a market is quick, slow. You're wanting to find out the snapshot of the market. When you track this yearly, you will begin to see how predictable the real estate market really is. It also helps you, in essence, it provides you with an immunization against all of the negative media reports that are out there. When you are informed and when you're knowledgeable, clients will work with you. The next thing I ask agents to do is to do an area analysis. Although this requires a little bit more work, it's an excellent tool because whether you're working with buyers from out of town or even from buyers that are moving from a different part of town, they want to know about all of the recreational opportunities, the shopping, the medical, financial. Also, it's really important that you understand your job market, and by using your local chamber of commerce, you will find that you can get so much great information from them that they've already spent the time compiling. So I really recommend that you really know your area. The other thing I ask agents to do is to make a chart or a matrix that shows all of the different amenities and recreation by the different areas or locations. So for example, in an area like Bellingham, what does Bellingham offer? What does the outer parts of Bellingham like Ferndale or Blaine or Linden offer? So it's really important that you show this either on a map or on a matrix or on a chart. Absorption rate is one of the most important numbers in real estate because absorption rate actually helps you to talk about time with your client. So for example, if a husband and wife are selling a home, there's no doubt in my mind that one of them is more concerned about how much that house is going to sell for. The other one's more concerned with how long is it going to take to sell. Absorption helps you find out the time factor. So let me give you an example. If there are 100 homes currently listed today, right now on the market, and those homes are selling at a rate of about 10 per month, well, based on the current inventory of 100 homes, that means it's going to take approximately 10 months for the market to absorb or consume that inventory. And that's if not one other house was listed. So what that does is it really gives someone who needs a time frame, it really gives them that time frame. It lets them understand how long it's going to take. This is also a great way to demonstrate what's going on in the market in different price ranges. So what is the absorption rate at the lower end, at the mid-range? What about at the higher end? So absorption rate is not used a lot by agents I know, but it is a tool that should be used by agents. The next thing is the population rate growth. This rate is so important because real estate is directly affected by this number. If an area has growing population, that means there's going to be growing demand. With growing demand, that means there's going to be a growing need for housing. Any area that has a large demand for housing means that those prices are going to go up and there's going to be appreciation. So by understanding what the population rate growth is in your area, it really helps to help you kind of look at trends and see what's going to happen in the area in terms of growth. If you look at areas, for example, like Las Vegas, if you look at their population rate growth over the last 25 years, you could absolutely predict very easily that that area's real estate would have appreciated very, very quickly, like it did from 2004 to 2007. The reason that happened was because there was such a demand in that area. So when we look at other areas in the country, if the population rate growth is very low, that means that you're probably not going to see a very fast rate of appreciation. So this is a number that you need to understand, you need to know. You can also simply go to the Census Bureau online and you will be able to see all of the different rates for all of the areas across the country. Number 8, employment growth. It is so critically important that you understand the big picture of growth in your area to do with employment. You need to understand what the employment rate is. You need to understand if that number is going up, if it's going down. By understanding the employment rate in your area, what that does is it helps an agent better understand what the future is in terms of potential jobs. That's also a really great way to understand who your future buyers might be. Because if, for example, there's going to be a technology, let's say there's a technology business that's coming to town. Well, what does that mean? That means that you're going to have technology employees also coming to town. If there's manufacturing jobs, that means you're going to have people in the manufacturing industry coming to town. That also helps you to predict approximately what those salaries might be, which then further helps you to understand what possibly their price of home might be. So again, go to your local Chamber of Commerce and get this number. Number 9, what the market is buying. It's really important that you analyze what the market is buying. It's really important that you understand that the market that you're in consumes different homes at a different rate. So if, for example, the market is consuming homes at a lower price range faster than at a higher price range, that's going to help you as an agent see opportunities. If you also notice that condos are selling at a very fast rate and they're absorbing in the market quickly and they have a low days on market number, that again lets you understand what the market wants. When you understand what the market wants, that helps you and gives you opportunities to market to those particular, let's say, sellers or the buyers that want to buy that type of home. When you do a market analysis on what the market is buying, oftentimes agents tell me that they're really surprised that they thought all the lower end homes were going to be, the most popular, but that's absolutely not the truth in many markets. In fact, when you do this, you're going to find some very interesting little trends in your area. Number 10, employment snapshot. If you have buyers moving into the area, you need to know who the major employers are. In fact, what you should do is you should go to your cities or your areas or your county's website and find out who the major employers are. By looking at these numbers and understanding how many employees they have, you also understand the need for housing. Every city has a profile that ranks the major employers in their area, and this is a number you absolutely have to know. Number 11, new construction analysis. If you want to know what the future holds for resale, you need to know what the past has held for new construction. I always ask agents if they have done an analysis on new construction, because I know that if they had, they would really understand what the future demand will be. And let me give you an example. If you go back and do an analysis of how many new homes have sold in a particular area over, let's say 3 years or 5 years, what you see is you kind of see how the trends work. How much demand is in your area? The other thing I love is if all of a sudden you see 1 year that new home sales have really dropped, maybe that's because there wasn't enough supply. Now, if new home sales have really dropped, but there's lots of new home inventory, then that means there's an oversupply. So why I love the new construction analysis number is because it doesn't matter where I go across the country. If I look at the new construction numbers, I can clearly understand whether that market is suffering from too much inventory or whether there's a lack of inventory. So this, again, really presents great opportunities for agents. Number 12, the condo and multifamily analysis. Condos are a very, very popular product type. With baby boomers finding them irresistible and more baby boomers buying them as second homes, they are becoming even more in demand. Agents need to take and do a very good analysis of what's going on in the condo market. Very similar to new construction. If you do this for condos, what you will see is you will again see, are the years coming up, or is the year in the next 12 months going to demand more condos or less? And again, what you do is you analyze condo sales over a period of 3 to 5 years. Look and see how many condos have sold. If lots of condos have sold and there wasn't very much inventory, that's going to tell you there's a very, very high demand. If there have been few condo sales but lots of inventory, that's probably going to help you be able to tell maybe a potential condo builder you're working with that maybe that's not the best moment for them to be building because there is an oversupply. So really keep an eye on the condo market and the multifamily market, because those very, very niched markets are not only becoming more popular, but they really show a trend of what's happening in real estate and what is happening for the future. In almost every metropolitan marketplace across the United States of America, condo sales have increased dramatically. Number 13, commercial analysis. There is a really strong direct relationship between a commercial market and a healthy housing market. Most residential real estate agents do not track what's going on in the commercial real estate markets, and the reason they don't is because it's not their area of expertise. But this actually is not a good thing to do. If you're a real estate professional and expert, you need to know what's going on in all the markets, the condo market, the new home sales market, and of course the commercial market. Track commercial closings over the past 5 years and really take a look at the commercial real estate market, and you're going to find some interesting things. In some areas, you're going to find that commercial sales have been really low. Now, is it that the commercial sales have been low because maybe there's no demand, or were commercial sales low because, you know, there just wasn't any interest? Or was it that there was a high number of commercial sales and there's a new demand? And knowing what that new demand is really important. It's about being an expert in your area. It's not just about the fact that commercial real estate has this relationship to the housing market, but it's about taking an agent who has limited knowledge and getting them more knowledgeable, and you're going to find that you just are more confident, and it really helps you to do a better job for your clients because you just sound stronger and you sound more knowledgeable, and people are very much attracted to that. Number 14, land sale analysis. This is critical. You cannot build a new home without land. Everything starts with land. You cannot build commercial property without land. You cannot build condos without land. You cannot build resale homes. You just can't build without land. So what you need to understand is you need to really have an analysis of what is going on in your marketplace in terms of land. So by tracking land and by looking at land sales over the past 5 years, you're going to see some very interesting trends. So for example, when land sales go up, usually about within 2 years, you're going to see new homes come on the market or more commercial property or condos. So the land sale analysis has a direct relationship to the resale market, as a direct relationship to new homes. It has a direct relationship to commercial real estate. So doing a land sale analysis will give you a great picture of what's going on in the market. Number 15, pending developments. This is a great thing to analyze. First of all, get to know your planning office. Know where it is, know who the people are, and make sure that you go and visit them. Be very aware of not only what projects and developments are coming up, but what zoning changes are coming up in your area. This is really critical. I knew an agent once in my marketplace who spent more time in the planning office than he did in our office, and I will tell you that he was one of the most successful agents in our marketplace, and it's because he had knowledge, and he used that knowledge to help him find the right clients. If he knew that there was a large commercial development being, coming to town, or there was rezoning done, he actually went out looking for the type of buyer who would be able to buy in that kind of product mix. So really important to understand what's going on in your marketplace with pending developments. Recreation analysis. Again, people like to live in areas that have great recreation, great amenities. If you're going to sell your area to a prospective buyer, you need to literally have the recreation chart. You need to know what opportunities are in your area. This is really focused on just recreation, not amenities, but what really is a great tool is to have a document where you literally will put golf courses, you will put biking, you'll put fishing, hunting, and you have little graphical icons at the top of the page, and then corresponding areas where those different recreational opportunities exist. So by having an analysis, this is invaluable for all your clients, and especially your out-of-town clients. Number 17, the business analysis. Is your area more retail, more manufacturing, more technology, more office space? Know the businesses in your area and do a chart that shows all the major businesses and business types. Also, on that chart, list who the major employers are and include this in your buyer's package. This is a great tool for people to get a kind of a quick snapshot of what your market is like. Number 18. This is something that agents tell me all the time is not a good number to do because there's so many ways this number could vary, and I completely disagree. We use the price per square foot analysis in new construction all the time. This is really important to get a good idea or a good gauge. So for example, if I know my area and I know what the average price per square foot is for most homes, that doesn't mean every home, but that means, in this location, in this area, you're probably looking at about a new home costing you about $200 a square foot, or $250, or super luxurious $300, or whatever the price per square foot is in your area. Other homes are only going to cost, $150 a square foot. But by knowing what $150 a square foot buys you versus what $300 a square foot looks like, you get to really see quickly homes that are severely overpriced, moderately overpriced, and you'll be surprised when you find a home that's right on the money or below price. Keeping an eye on price per square foot is really important. You'll also know when a home is, when they do the price per square foot analysis, when a home is just really, out of line with where it should be priced. So I love this. And what you do is you just simply go into the MLS, get the, and actually pull an average. Look and see what the average new construction sale price is in your area for many different areas and many different product types. But this is a great tool also working with clients because you can use this when negotiating, you can use this when you're writing up offers, you can also use it with an overpriced seller. Number 19, land price analysis. Every agent not only needs to know how much land is selling, but they need to know how much that kind of land goes for. So for example, earlier I asked you to do just a real broad, kind of analysis of land. Let's look at land and how much land is selling. Now we're going to go a little deeper and we want to know what kind of land is selling and what that costs. So for example, farmland is not going to cost the same as waterfront. Waterfront will not cost the same as water view. Lakefront is going to be different than lake view. A single family housing development, again, is going to be a different price than, let's say, waterfront. So it's really important to understand this is what the average waterfront lot is going for, because a lot of people today are looking for specific things like I want a view, or I want waterfront, or I want to be right on the lake, or I want to be on acreage. So you really need to know what that kind of product costs, and a land price analysis will do that for you. Number 20, the shortest days on market analysis. This is by far one of my very favorite numbers to analyze, and I help agents learn how to do this, and they use it for a prospecting or lead generation tool. Let me tell you a little bit about how that works. In every marketplace, there are opportunities. There are opportunities in a good market. There are opportunities in a bad market. But the best way to find those opportunities is to go into the MLS and find out what homes have sold and what their days on market number are. So let's say, for example, you go in and you say, okay, MLS, show me all sales this month. And the MLS is going to pull up a list of every sale this month. What you're then going to do is you're going to take all those sales and you're going to look at the days on market number. So let's say we've pulled up 100 sales. Let's now look at the ones that have the shortest days on market. And let's say that there are 10 of them that all had under 15 days on market. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look to see what do they have in common. Is it a particular type of product? Is it a particular area? Is it a particular price range? Is it a particular amenity that comes with that property? What is it that's causing those homes to sell in under 15 days? So here's what you're going to find. You're going to find in some markets that all of a sudden, for whatever reason, there's a very high demand for ramblers. Or you're going to find, wow, condos in that particular area are really popular. Or my goodness, waterfront is selling like hotcakes right now. The only way to find this opportunity is by going into the MLS and really doing your homework. And I have agents that literally do this every single month, and this is all they do to make a living. But then what they do is they take it another level, and they're very smart about it. They then send a letter out. So let me show you how that works. Let's say, for example, we have found that there is a shortage of ramblers in a particular area. And those ramblers have literally sold in under 15 days or under 30 days or whatever the number is that the MLS shows you. What you then do is you send out a letter to all of the rambler owners in that particular area. And the letter would say something like this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I am writing to you because you are the owner of a rambler property in the Pacific Heights subdivision. Right now, at this moment in the market, there is an opportunity for homeowners that own ramblers because at this moment in the market, ramblers are selling in a low days on market number in comparison to the rest of the market, which means that there is a high demand for your particular type of home. If you have even been remotely thinking of selling, please give me a call so I can come over and talk to you, or I can speak with you on the phone about what has happened recently within the rambler market. I have also enclosed for you a complete detailed list of all these properties that recently have sold, what they've sold for, and how many days on market it took. Now, the reason you want to do that is because you want to show this rambler owner that you're not just sending out a number of letters. You really have a reason why you have sent these letters out. So it's really, really important when you're doing the shortest days on market analysis that you don't just know the number, you now put the number to work. In today's marketplace, it is critical that agents have an edge. The best edge to have in any profession is the edge of expertise. And that's why if you spend the time to look through these 20 different expert analysis and you put the time and effort into doing this work, you're going to sound like an expert, you're going to come across as an expert, and your clients are going to treat you like an expert, which means they're going to hire you. So please feel free to start work on this, and if you have any questions, you can absolutely email me at denise@thelonusgroup.com, or you can also go to the website www.thelonusgroup.com, or you can call our office at 360-527-8904. Thank you for joining me.